One of our favorite places to access the Appalachian Trail in Maryland is via the Thurston Griggs Trail. This trail will bring you close to the Black Rock and only about 2 miles or 3 miles from Annapolis Rock. Both of them are fabulous overlooks. Years ago, this was a sparsely used trailhead, but over the last year or two, this trail has become quite busy. It is a strenuous trail. You can see it is uphill and very rocky, but it is still a very pretty hike. This trail was originally called the Bagtown Road. However, over the years, the trail was moved and adjusted in places, and in the early 2000s, the road and trail name was changed to be the Thurston Griggs Trail. This was done to honor an 86-year-old man who was very involved with the protection of the Appalachian Trail and the other trails in the Mid-Atlantic region. He was instrumental in saving and protecting this very trail that was then named Bagtown Road. Thurston Griggs remained active in the trail community until his death at the age of 95 in 2011. This trail, as I said, is steep and it is rocky. As you approach the top of this trail and the intersection to the Appalachian Trail, you will come across a shallow water crossing, and this is the site of a natural spring. This spring is one of the main draws for the primitive Pogo Campsite, which resides along the Appalachian Trail at the top of the Thurston Griggs Trail. Pogo Campsite was named for a young man whose life ended way too soon. Pogo was his nickname, and he was born in 1958, and he spent many of his younger years on the Appalachian Trail with his parents. His parents were deeply involved with the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. In 1974, he and a friend actually went to bike from coast to coast, specifically from ocean to ocean. Sadly, both boys were seriously injured when a car sideswiped them within the first days of their trip. Pogo recovered, and shortly afterward, he accepted an invitation to go canoeing on the Potomac River. Unfortunately, he was not a strong swimmer nor a strong boater, and an accident occurred, and Pogo lost his life. His parents wanted something to memorialize him, and they talked to the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, and they decided to rename the Black Rock Hotel Campsite after him. This campsite is very primitive. There is just a privy and some fire rings, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Did you catch that? The Black Rock Hotel. Yes, there was once a hotel up here at the top of the mountain. The original hotel was built in the 1870s, and it utilized the Bagtown Road for its access. It was quite prosperous, as people wanted to get away from the heat of the city. And where better than the fresh mountain air near Black Rock? The first hotel burnt down around 1880, and shortly thereafter, the owner's wife and child also died. Depressed, he retreated to New York, where he was financially successful. But the fresh mountain air drew him back to the area of Black Rock. And in 1907, he rebuilt the Black Rock Hotel, or as it was sometimes known, the Black Rock House, right in this area. Reports talk about the grand 4th of July celebrations that they had up here, where they read the Declaration of Independence and drank whiskey. But sadly, this location became less popular when the railroad arrived at the nearby Penmar Park. You see, this location was very inaccessible, but the railroad made Penmar quite accessible, and this place started to suffer. Sadly, the Black Rock Hotel burned in 1920, and it was never rebuilt. There are reports that in the 1960s and 70s that the walls of this hotel still stood and were able to be seen in this area. However, by the turn of the century, they were reduced to a pile of rubble, and the foundation is very difficult to find. Maybe this winter I'll be able to go back and actually search for the rubble and the foundation. Thanks for watching. This place is gorgeous. I would go ahead and recommend visiting any time you're in the area.